Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 92 of Direwolf20's Age of Engineering series. Did a little bit of experimenting with the quantum generator last episode. Looks like the most power it can put out is the max int, which is like 32,768, is that right? So I set it around 32,500 and it's actually outputting that amount, right? If I set it to 33,000, it starts cutting it in half. Interesting. So max int seems to be where you want to be for that. So boom, 32,500 is a nice place to leave it at. So with that in mind, I've been letting that run for a little while. And we've got 1,000 iridium. Hooray! So last episode, we kind of spied with the concept that we need more creative energy cells than we currently have. So in total, there's a couple creative things we want to get. Ultimately, I'd like to work towards getting the creative vending upgrade, which will require creative gas tanks ×2, creative fluid tanks ×2, and some basic bins full of certain things like iridium, which we're going to need 4,096 of. So we're a quarter of the way there, but we need, in order to get to that point, we need more creative stuff than we already have. So we're going to need creative gas tanks and creative fluid tanks. Now, gas tanks require 4 creative energy cubes each, and creative fluid tanks basically require 4 creative energy cubes each. So we basically, if we want to get one of these, we need 4 more creatives. And one of these is 4 more creatives. And in order to get this, we need, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we need something like 16, I guess, creative, ultimately, in order to make a creative vending upgrade. And what I'd like to do is pretty much use this as a power source and then work towards the 16 items. So if we got 16 creative energy cells, right, we could start working towards the creative vending upgrade, using those 16 energy cells along the way to do all kinds of different stuff like more gas and more fluids and anything else we need to do. And then once we've gotten that creative vending upgrade, then we can use this one remaining creative energy cell. We can get infinite of those. And then making more of these things is like super easy, right? So that's kind of the plan. And then we'll have completed the map pretty much. So there's a lot of work left to do to get to that point. And one of the first things I'd like to be able to do is make those creative dudes a little bit easier. So we already made one. So we know that we have all the stuff that we need to make one. However, we're going to need a lot more. Like, we're going to need 16 each of all this stuff, which kind of stinks. But it should be doable. It shouldn't be hard to accomplish. Some of it is just, time sensitive. And along the way, I should have probably taught the recipe for all these things because we're going to need 16 more of them. So I might as well just start teaching the recipes. So that said, some of these things are a lot harder or easier than others. And I think one of the biggest ones was that Mark V solar. A biggest part of it, it seemed, aside from the iridium, which we've kind of trivialized. I don't want to say trivialized, but we've made it better, is all the stone and cobble and glass and sand that we need. So I think today's episode is going to be a Cobbleworks. I think that's it. I've been saying for like episodes, and I need to do that now. And I'm thinking I'm going to do it with the mechanism in the mechanism area, right? So that should be cool. Mechanism's cruising. I used carrots, by the way. I swapped them out with apples because we were getting low on apples. But if we set up a Cobbleworks in this area, that might be really cool. And what I'm thinking is basically just a drawer system of cobble, sand, gravel, and glass and smooth stone and whatever else we decide we need. And we should also use that Cobbleworks to start working towards what we're going to need to have. This is the octuple compressed cobblestone. That's a lot of blocks. We need, it's 9 sets of septuples, which is, let's back that up, 4.7 million cobble per septuple, and we need 9 of them. So big number of cobblestone. So if we start working on that now, hopefully by the time we need it, we will have it. So Cobbleworks time. So we're going to want generators, cobblestone generators to be accurate. cobblestone generators. So that shouldn't be too bad. So we've got some down in the mass fab area. I'd like to get, I don't know, like a bunch of these. And a lot of them will be focused towards making the octuple. And we'll probably have at least maybe one focused towards the Cobbleworks. So to get a Cobbleworks, let's review exactly what we're going to need, right? So we're going to want cobblestone, stone, and we're going to want pretty large sized drawers of each of them. So let's get the drawers set up in each type, and then we'll start working on the automation components, right? So we'll want a drawer. We have a controller, good. I remember them being a little bit annoying to craft, but they're probably less so now. So we're going to want cobble, stone, which we might have. Okay, it's up here somewhere. We have to have stone somewhere. There's some. Sand, gravel, and glass. Does that feel like a good starting point for some Cobbleworks type stuff? Just get like 10, just so I can prime the drawers. And then that'll give me the idea of what I want to work towards. Right? And to make this happen, the question then becomes, do we want to have 2 crushing factories, right? One for the sand and one for the gravel that the cobble can feed into, or what? I think 2 crushing factories might not be a terrible idea. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so we got cobblestone generators. Beautiful. We've got... I made a couple of these crushers. And then we're going to want... In fact, it is from Mechanism. I don't think I can immediately upgrade you to the elite tier, but I can do 4 of you, followed by 4 of you, followed by 4 of you, and that should be pretty easy peasy. And while that's all cooking, we can pop over to our mechanism room and figure out where in here we want to put this, because we've actually got pretty serious amount of stuff going on right here. So the cobblestone generators, tier 5, should make lots of cobble. We're definitely going to want a storage drawer of sorts to kind of function here. And we want our drawer controller, which I must have lost somewhere along the way, because items just go missing all the time. Probably... I don't know where. This is actually really hard to figure out where I want to place this. Well, let's map out... Let's start instead of with this, because this is easier to rearrange. Let's start with... So these are power lines we can tap into, right? What if we ran our crushers on the bottoms and our smelters on the tops? How does that sound? So we could do like a 2x2 of crushers and smelters, but I do want to leave room for wiring. Smelter, smelter, crusher. Cool. So smelters and crushers. Let's get some power flow into these dudes. Mechanical pipe, basic pressurized, elite universal cable. That's probably what we want. Cool. Oh, you know what else we're going to want? Is upgrades for each of these mechanism machines, right? So in total, we're going to want 32, 32, and 16. So energy upgrades, we're going to need 16 more of. Speed upgrades, we're going to need 10 more of. And the quietness upgrades, which we'll call it? Yeah, these we're going to need 16. Missing steel. All right, what muffling upgrade do you not like? Steel dust. I've been having to fix my steel recipe because 1 steel dust from 1 steel ingot. You're with fluix dust. So basically we do this and we do steel and we replace it and then we encode it. You were in with the fluix dusts. Yeah, there you are. Cool. So now muffling upgrades, we should be able to get 16, no problem. Nice. So we've just had to fix that every now and again. All right, cool. So that's gotten that going. In terms of interacting with... I might change my mind again, because we won't be able to interact with multiple sides. So I might wind up moving you guys here so that we can... I don't think I can facade this, though, which would be kind of a bummer. That's a temporary until I figure out if there's like facades or something that I can do. But that should at least keep the base pressurized in the meantime. Cool. Now for item conduiting and storage of stuff. So this guy's currently got 5 of 8 channels in use. This guy's got 6. So we can easily tap a storage upgrade in somewhere nearby. Where that's going to live is kind of a good question that I don't have an excellent answer to. What we could do... So we're going to want cobblestone, gravel, sand, and glass. Is there anything else I want to have in there? Because that sounds like 5 right now. Glass. Go machines go. Thank you. And cobble. So 5 isn't terrible. So what we could have is a drawer controller. Right? Let me think this through. So let's do this. Let's do drawer controller. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We will lock this dude. And then here, how many channels are coming off this line? 6. So we can easily throw... Let's put the drawer controller... it doesn't really matter. Here's fine. And then we can tap a storage bus onto that guy. Let's get our key. Never built a Cobbleworks with Mekanism before, so interested to see how it works out, right? And then we're going to want you guys on hand, right? So you and stone. Let's actually move this one up. Because then I can put sand and glass next to each other. And then gravel. Does that sound good? I think that sounds good. And then that can be a storage bus right there. Cool. Storage bus, and we're gonna want some cables. So your priority will probably want to be high. And let's actually also check out our central area, because if I have a drawer of cobblestone, I'm pretty sure I probably do. We can probably remove. So that's limestone, I think. I imagine I've got some cobble, gravel, and stuff here. So gravel, for example. So we'll remove gravel from that list. Sand. You're automatically compacting. That's kind of cool. How much is in there, actually? A lot of. So I probably don't need you automatically compacting in a compacting drawer. So what I'll probably do is export bus for cobble. And then glass and smooth stone, I doubt I have drawers for already, right? I don't really see any, so that's cool. So back to mechanism place. Okay. So we'll export bus temporarily to that. So let's do... Can you just make like 30 of those real quick? That would be super cool of you. So let's say 6 of each. Does that work? And then we'll want an export bus. We'll want more acceleration upgrades. That should be a quick put together, right? Ah, we're waiting for Fluix. All right. So that won't be too bad. 30 of you. We'll go into here. Cool. So 5 upgrades is the max it can accept. That works. And I don't want void upgrades, because effectively I want these machines to stop running when they're no longer needed to run, right? So that should be cool. So now for the cobble gen, what we're gonna do, I'm gonna have one cobble gen dedicated to this room, and then one cobble gen, the other 5 will probably be dedicated to the octuple compressed. We'll see how many cobble gens we need to get this running effectively. So let's start right here, I guess would be a good place. So you're a cobble gen, right? You're producing cobble. That's your job. You are going to be able to hold, by the way, how many? Stack limit, 2,080 stacks. That's crazy. I like it. So while that export bus is running, let's get this stuff set up. So effectively, we're going to want to export on green here. This will be insert on green, extract on brown, always active, and I probably want to round robin it if I can. Now I'm not sure if I need to have sidedness because the top is set to eject. I'm assuming I can't set this guy. If I set it to none, I wonder if that means we can interact with both slots or it means we can't interact with either slot. We'll have to test this. We might have to change up a little bit of the wiring, which actually wouldn't be too bad because I could run the power underneath and we could do in on the top and out on the back. Let's test that. So if you're set to none and you are set to extract always active, and you are set to insert on brown, would you be able to put, yeah, no. So we do need separate lines. Well, we don't really have to break those, but we need separate lines, effectively. So yeah, let's run the power underneath. And that saves me a little bit, because then I can facade the back there, and that'll be cool. Okay. So elite universal cable, will you reach? Nice. Except for that part where that's going to be hard to get power to. Dun, 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 dun. Are there facades in Mekanism? I don't know. Alright, so basically we're going to need to do this. So top and bottoms. Right? You may not necessarily need to do this. So I'm going to do like inserts on the tops. Well, it's going to be tricky. You're totally going to need to communicate with each other. Because we're going to have to extract out of one and insert into the next is basically what we're going to have to do for this. So what we'll probably need is something like this. And then we can use facades, which I just got some, there they are, of. Right, and that should be cool then. So now these two lines kind of connect with each other. And that looks good enough. Nice. All right, cool. So you're going to extract on green. So before I actually set that, you're going to... This is the only one that needs to accept cobble, right? So you're going to be insert on green. And then we're going to extract gravel on brown. Always active. But I'm going to round robin it. And you will accept on brown, right? So then you're going to insert on brown filtered gravel, right? So gravel is the only thing you're allowed to insert. And you're going to extract on brown, always active. And that'll pull out sand, right? And that'll stick sand in here. Cool. Now you're going to insert on green to smelt cobblestone into stone. So this one's going to need to be round robined. Your extract is going to be round robined. And you will extract on brown, always active. And you're going to insert on brown, filtered to sand. Right, now this brown, did I make you round robin? You are now, right? And then you'll insert on brown there. Cool, and you will extract on brown, always active, right? So cobble will go out, it'll round robin between this guy that turns it to gravel and this guy that turns it to smooth stone, right? Or this guy, really, right? So that's insert on green, that's insert on green. You will extract gravel, and half of it will go to turn into sand, and the other half will go into the storage drawer, which is inserting on brown, right? And this is filtered to only accept gravel. So you're extracting green, or you're extracting brown? Yeah, that's cool. So the sand will come out, and half of it will go into brown here, which is sand, and the other half will go into here, which is accepts anything. That should work if I didn't totally derp that up. So let's see if all our upgrades are ready. So we're gonna want that should work, and you guys can go away for a minute. Energy, speed. Oh, we have probably more than. No, we're good. Muffler, muffler, muffler. Cool. Okay, so we'll put speed, 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 and speed. And back in a sec when they're all upgraded. And the final upgrade sets will be muffler, 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 and muffler. Cool. All right, now we want to upgrade them to factories. So 4, 4, and 4. So basic tier upgrades will be 1, 2. Now why would you do what now? Do they not stack? I guess they don't stack. Cool. So this is what? Basic? Basic. Basic, right? So they're all that now. Elite. No, we want advanced, right? Cool. So now they're all elite. Crushing and whatnot factories. So I guess the last thing to do is turn this on and see if we did it right? So by doing that, we should... Oh, you know what we're going to need is speed upgrades. We are totally going to need speed upgrades. Not from mechanism. Item conduit speed upgrades. So you guys need to extract faster. Cool. So you should be getting cobble. Because we're round robining you, right? Round robin. Oh, right, you're extracting on green. So I guess we really want to extract this all on brown. We really want brown to be the only channel, I guess. So what I should do is insert on brown with a filter of cobblestone. Or do we not care about cobblestone being part of this? That's another option. I think we should care, because we're going to need lots of cobble. So having cobble on hand is probably a good idea. So let's brown filter cobble, right? So now cobble's the only thing that's allowed to be inserted here on brown. So you're going to wind up extracting on brown, and this will be an insert on brown, filtered to be cobble as well, right? So now you should be round robining, right? So for every item that gets pulled out of here, one set goes into this factory, one set goes into this factory, and one set goes into here. Now you should be extracting on brown always active. Are you just too slow? We're going to need a lot of item conduit speed upgrades, I suspect. Item conduit speed upgrades. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 30 should be enough for now. Because basically what's happening is you are too slow at extracting. I suspect that's the case. Oh, no. The other problem is that I probably didn't side config. So input on the top, output on the bottom. There's your problem. Okay. So maybe you don't need to be that much. You can probably be 7 and that would be enough. Yeah, that's cool. Okay. So then you also want to be blue on the bottom. So you're cool. You also... Oh, we probably want auto sort on for all of these. Eventually they'll auto fill up all the way, but it's all good. Glue. Blue. And you should be cool now. Yeah, you totally need like 6 and 5. Why not? We'll see if that's enough. It might be. It looks like it is maintaining to be enough. Yeah. That's good. So that's a Cobbleworks with Mechanism, dudes. It's not bad. So you're probably producing large and copious amounts of glass and sand and gravel. And eventually these will fill up. So I don't think we need quite as much gravel. So we'll probably just put like 1 emerald upgrade into the gravel slot. And we probably don't need quite as much sand. Smooth stone, we'll do this many for now, because I'd like to see it like start backstuffing soon. Especially with like the sand. I'd like, you know, a decent amount of sand. In fact, let's just remove you altogether from gravel and sand. And we'll see if we care about having that much sand, because sand is usually more about just getting to glass. So once we have a decent amount of glass, we should be cooler. So what should happen is this should fill up, and that should be cool. I think this is working, guys. And then any excess gravel or cobble will actually obviously go there. And eventually this whole thing will stop running once everything's full. So with that in mind, let's now go work on our crafter. Now we have a crafter tier 2. I'd like to upgrade you to a tier 3. And that's the top tier, right? Because that can do 8 crafts. So what I'd like to see, and this really doesn't matter where this lives, just somewhere that it, you know, makes a relative amount of sense. Down here is probably fine. So what we'll want to have... Now, what could be a really fast item transfer method? I know. Translocators. Would that be cool? So what if we had you... and we had... How insane is this going to be? Right? Like that. But we'd probably want stack upgrades. And I think that's glowstone, right? And the draconic binder, we can bind this to this guy. Cool. So now what I'd like to do is actually change this to internal results instead of external. And we'll remember that. And what should happen is now apply. No. Internal apply, remember. So now triple compressed will wind up going into here. Cool. And then what I'd like to do is for this recipe be triple compressed internal apply, and that'll make a quadruple. Right? And that should be pretty cool. Nice. Remember. And then for this, internal apply. And that'll make quintuple. Cool. So we'll be back in a minute when that's kind of made enough of that. I forgot to hook this up. Priority 20. Cool. So now I should see all that glass. Yay. Beautiful. Nice. So these things are actually coming along nicely. Where did I put that thing? Ender over. I popped this down here because I'd like to make more of these, I think. I feel like that might be fun. It's a bummer that you don't want to behave so well, but that's okay. The shift clicking, I mean. It's because you get the thing back. Boom. 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 Cool. So in theory, I could probably pop one here, here, here. Now, here, here, and here. Because I want to be able to access these at all times. So translocators. I'm sure we have a hopper on AutoCraft, right? Cool. And then the glowstone. And this will just speed this up, you know? The more we put here, the faster they will go. So, glowstone, glowstone, glowstone. And go. Cool. And right-clicking this and not getting cobblestone out tells me that it's putting as much as it possibly can in there. That is pretty cool. We're even on speed slow. That's funny. Cool. Let's get this side going. And technically, we could probably, well, let's do this, this, and this, right? And that would be this, 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 and this with glowstone on here, here, and here, and that. Nice. Even faster. Now we want speed fast. We're gonna want speed fast on this guy. Shenanigans at this point, guys. Pure shenanigans with the speed of cobblestone production. Technically, it could be a little bit faster, I'm sure, because we're not actually doing anything in the back. We could probably put like one cobblegen in the back there. Is it really necessary? I don't know. Like we're having a good time. Let's just put it that way, with the amount of cobblegen stuff we're doing. Cool. I want to at least get the quadruples going, and I'll probably, once I get a quintuple, I will teach it how to make sextuples, and we'll probably export the sextuples to the output thing. But that's going really fast. Oh yeah, I forgot to check to make sure my energy cube is not hurting for power, and it doesn't seem to be, so I think we're good here in terms of production of power. That's one thing to keep an eye on. I forget if I automated carrots or if I just brought a bunch of carrots over. They're probably automated in the overworld, to be honest with you. So that's cool. And this thing is also not giving me cobblestone, which is kind of a good sign. Oh yeah, check it out. So gravel filled up now. So now all gravel is immediately being dumped into sand, which is still splitting evenly between the two, the smelters and the drawers here. But then soon sand will fill up to 2048, right? And then we'll confirm that that worked. I'll probably just leave this guy in here so you're capable of doing... Cool. It's nuts how, like, just one of these becomes a stack limit of 416 stacks. That's nuts. Stone... I want just that for now. And then we will... Once this is all cool, then we will add more stack upgrades to the ones that I care about having more of, like glass and smooth stone. Sand and gravel, I probably don't care that much about having a lot of. I might throw one stack upgrade in them. But I just want to verify the whole everything shuts down bit, which should be good. An Ender IO area, this has been running for a moment or two off camera. And hey, we got a quintuple. Nice. So the next tier will be you. Cool. And we'll remember that, so the quintuple's in there. I guess you could go to internal, apply. So that'll put sextuples right here, and then we'll probably do septuples, and that could go to the export. Because once we have septuple, we only need 7. We need 9 septuples to get an octuple. Out of curiosity, anything good I can make with octuples besides? So we can get septuples, we can get the creative. That's it. So really nothing but storage. It's not like Bedrock Yam or anything cool. All right, that's a good wrapping up point. So it didn't take us long to make 60,000 blocks of cobblestone. Yeah. So Dowell20 signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Take it easy.